Hello my fireflies, and welcome back to TheCyanFirefly. It's me, Lyiat, and today I'm going to bring you the TLDR on RaiderZ, the upcoming Monster Hunter-style action MMORPG. RaiderZ is brought to us by Lyiat Entertainment, who are most well known for the online third-person shooter known as Guns. So what exactly is RaiderZ anyhow? Well, the central story is a bit tough to follow, but it seems like you start off as a member of a good pirate crew. From there, you must protect your fellow pirates and stop a planned assault on them from a powerful sorcerer and his pirate crony. Yeah, the plot is rubbish, but the gameplay more than makes up for it. It's also worth noting that this is not the plot of the entire game, this is just the starting plot, roughly levels 1 through 8. So what exactly do you do? Well, it is effectively Monster Hunter in an MMO form. You get to wield great big weapons against large beasties and beat them up for their body parts. These body parts you can use against other creatures or craft into even more powerful big weapons, armors, and equipment. It's all great fun. The leveling system is much like any other RPG. After a certain amount of experience, you get a stat increased and a skill point to spend on any skill you so desire. The skills are tiered, so you have to spend a certain amount of points in any given tree to gain access to skills further down. Additional points on given skills will increase the power of that respective skill. Interestingly, skills are not class restricted. After spending 10 points on your class starting tree, you may spec into any given set of class abilities. You are free to multi-class as you see fit, employing any wacky combination of skills that you wish, which most RPGs do not even attempt to allow you to do. The enemy variety, at least in beta, is fairly good. Sure, there are some clear copies of enemies, but for the large part you see some very good variation from area to area. They are creative and, more importantly, fun to fight due to the employed fighting system. Every class can fight in close quarters combat, bashing parts off of his opponents to use against them. You can also dodge around to avoid their attacks, making combat incredibly skill-based as a result. Being able to dodge, weave, and bob, as well as knowing when to knock your enemy for a loop is rather important, and it's a skill that you have to acquire in order to properly play. I do have a few problems with this game though. One issue it has in particular is the fact that it kinda lacks the style that Monster Hunter does. The weapons and armor that you get from Monster Hunter are organic in nature. They actually look like you've ripped them from the hide of a beast and fashioned them into arms and armor. The ones in this game look a bit more like generic fantasy armors. Perhaps this is planned to change as you get higher and higher in the game, but at the moment it is a tad disappointing. I just killed the gigantic queen spider. Why is the armor I make from her made out of steel chain and copper? Interacting with others can also be a real big pain. You actually have to walk up to them, highlight them with your cursor, and press E to do anything, such as inviting them to a group or requesting a trade. If you want to group up with someone to give them part of the spoils for killing a large monster, have fun, because getting close to them to get the menu to pop up will likely get your face gnawed off. That aside, this game is pretty damn fun. The combat is cool and feels really nice. With either smacking monsters around with a 5-foot sword or blasting them with fire and ice, it just feels really sleek and finished even for a beta. A couple of improvements in this game will be really great. Did I mention it's planned to come out as a free-to-play? So, ultimately, when it actually comes out, there will be very little reason not to play it. Sure, it will be likely competing with Guild Wars 2, but considering it is free to jump in and jump out when you want, there is only one thing you have to dedicate to it, and that is time. I suggest that anyone with a passing interest in this monster hunting genre take a good look into RaiderZ when it comes out and apply for the beta access as soon as possible. This has been Lyiat with the TheCyanFirefly, off to harvest yet another monster pancreas to make into a lovely breastplate.